No, I think we've covered this recently, and that's the Lafayette Venus, or was it another version of the same thing? I think our Mark ZX2 has one of these in his car. And this is one, I think the gentleman's bought it off eBay, which is intermittent. And in actual fact, it's worse than intermittent, it just blows fuses. So chances are it has a protection diode that's failed. Well, let's hope it is just that. So I'm going to plug it in without the handset in and see what happens. Well, straight away our power supply has shut down. So does that mean I get to break the seals on this? It just sits there grinning, doesn't it? You know, cheeky grin. I don't work. I just love eBay, and the only time I remember buying a Yaesu FT290 multi-mode little transportable thing. They were popular in the early 80s, and they were quite expensive at the time. They seem to still hold their value. You still seem to get, 90 quid for them. Even I think they were about £367 at the time. Anyway, I bought one off eBay, and of course it said I probably paid £75 for it. I think it was going back about 5 years. And when it arrived, I connected it up, and straight away it went into transmit. And whenever you plugged it in, it went into transmit. So I looked at the circuit and realised that the transistor that's triggered from the Morse key input socket was short circuit. So I changed it, and that stopped it going into transmit. But then I found that the receive was fine, but the transmit, no, get this right, the receive was really distorted. I thought it was just a detector out, but it wasn't. It was the audio IC. It was about £7. I got a replacement, and that was the end of the matter. When I did the feedback, I put TX fault, such and such transistor, 18 pence. Receive fault, extreme distorted audio IC, £7.20, whatever it was. And that's what I put on the feedback. Radio works great, thank you. I bet that really annoyed him, knowing he'd sold a Duff radio, and he would have had a lot more had it worked. Well, I had the last laugh because it only took me 20 minutes to do it anyway. So, oops, wrong camera. Let's have a look at this. If I can manage to. It's been so windy last night. My camera 1, which is the inset picture when we go picture in picture, and it's the one that's on the Marconi test set power meter, it actually had moved, and it's not fixed down. It's actually perched on top of a Fidelity 1000. Of course, you'd use Fidelity 1000 as a stand, wouldn't you? Parked on top of the test bench 2 behind me, and it's on top of the spectrum analyzer, which is on top of the oscilloscope, which is on top of the test set, and it must. I mean, how can you move? Or there must have been some wind. I mean, we do have windows in this building, mind you. The one in this room could do with being replaced, I can assure you. Right, so I'm just going to zoom in if I can just press the right buttons. So there's going to be a protection diode. And if there isn't, well, it will have taken out the audio IC. And the customer will not be very cheered. That could be it. Whatever happens, it's going to have to be ordered in. I think it's down there. No, that reads fine, whichever diode that is. I've no doubt I haven't got a circuit for these. I mean, that is a diode. That's going to be a resistor. Yep. See whether any of these transistors are dead short. See whether this is the audio IC. You know, the audio IC is there. Whatever that is dead short. Oh, that's the choke. That should be short. We haven't actually got a dead short across the power. Power it back up again. Where have I put the plug? I'm just going to make sure, something stupid. Positive and negative, do they line up the same way as the plug? No. No, they don't. Look, the red wire goes to the black. The red wire goes to the black. So it's shorting out because this isn't the original lead. It's as simple as that. So what we're going to do is unplug the fagorette lighter. That's a good word, isn't it? Just made that one up. And I'm going to put that on our famous crocodile clips. They're the ones that I can short out nicely on the bench. The opposite way on. Now, I'll tell you what, I should be working for Scotland Yard. Except I don't want to go to London because it's... And we'll put the positive to the negative and the negative to the positive. That's kind of fun because my crocodile clip isn't really intended to go around something as big as that. Right. So now the red should be negative. The black should be positive. Is this one of those where the connection's only on one side of the negative? Yep, it is. Oh, I just put the power up to 13.8 because we were doing that test yesterday where we were demonstrating car battery voltages. So we've got positive 13.8. So my positive prod's on the black, negative prod's on the red. So we've successfully got it the wrong way around. So now when I plug this into the radio, I'm hoping the power supply won't shut down. No, the power supply doesn't shut down. Right, switch the power off. Connect up the radio's handset. Switch on and watch the clip fly off again. Ah, cheery hello. Right, well, we'll service a set for him. First of all, I'm going to have to do something permanent instead of this crocodile clip because it's just flying off. Let's see what the transmit's doing. Oh God, it's unpowered. So switch picture in picture on. And it's doing 2 watts. Now that's because the radio's the power supply's current limiting. Good grief! Talk about, they were right about the intermittent bit. I think we've got a dirtier dry joint switch in this. So it's doing 2.1 watts as presented. Let's see how it's receiving. Oh, we have to have it on channel 20. Is this how we change channel? No. Is that how we press channel? Yeah. And then those become audio. So why have we got no receive? 27.79125, 27.79125. Let's turn the squelch down. Has this got RF gain? Because this is S9 I'm putting in, or S7. That's 10 microvolts and I'm not receiving anything. So how do we turn the squelch down? I'm going to have to get the instruction book out, which he's kindly sent in. Yeah, it needs to be in DX mode, doesn't it? That's better. It's now receiving at 1 microvolt. Anyway, it is receiving. I'll have to fiddle with that in a bit. So I've got a plan. We'll start by turning it off. and seeing if we can take these pins out. We should have a tool to do that. I'll pause the video. So I bought this tool off AliExpress. I spotted it when ordering some other tat, and this is a Molex type connector unlocking selection of keys, and I've never used it yet, but I thought we're going to be needing that in the not too distant future. So we have a Molex removal tool for the leads we can make up, which is the Maxon ones. We have the proper tool, which was a lot of money, but this is a pretend one, and I reckon that could be it. No, is it the green one? No, it's not that green one. To be the one we haven't got, it'd be a different one. What's the black one? That's bigger. Perhaps it is that one, and it's just that these have expanded. Yes. Ha ha ha. Now then, it's the blue tool. So now we'll plug this back into the cigarette lighter socket, away from my crocodile clips. And hopefully we've got, I'll put the power supply back on. We've got this the right way around. Look at that. Red to red, black to black. Plug it into the radio. No short. Switch on the radio. Polarity changed. John Pertwee, when he played Doctor Who, was always changing the polarity of the neutron flow. Obviously it helped him with the TARDIS. So before we go any further, we'll just see how many Zetagi watts the radio's doing. Oh yeah, we've got this other problem. It's 3.5 Zetagi watts. There won't be many spurious emissions on this because it's a modern set, it was current model, and they're pretty close tolerance on the emissions. So I think we've got a dirty PTT in here, so I'll turn the power off and I'll open up the mic. And drop the screwdriver on the floor. Now that Mustang we were doing last week, we've got the new speaker come for that, so that's going to be able to go back to the customer. So we'll do a scratchy corner test on that. So has the microphone got a dry joint? Tell you what, it would be easy to unplug it. Man, it would be if it did unplug, but it doesn't. Now it's quite tight in there. So what can I use to pry it out? So we've got a liquid crystal display on top of where the switch is soldered. So I can't inspect without tilting this upwards and removing this piece of tape. Now you can't get to that easily. We'll put that tape on standby. It may just be a matter of dirty contacts like, you know, we get. So we just put the service all in there. So I'll put it back to, I'll switch it back on with it in bits. Transmitting every time, so dirty contacts. Now I've blown the dust off that. We'll put that piece of tape back. I'll turn the radio off. Just wipe the display with my t-shirt. We have all the tools here, you know. And we'll put those little tiny screws back in. It says UHF CB mic. I thought there's only Australia had UHF CB. And that seems to have located everywhere it's supposed to locate. Need to put that membrane back. Oh, it says squelch on the top. So you press that and then you fiddle about. I like radios that are intuitive. You just go up to them and it's obvious what you do. Not all these menus and sub-menus. Okay, so we'll power it back up. Press trans. I've missed the PTT bar out. I think that's done from the outside. You see the PTT switch is to the left, so the moulding needs to go that way round. That's it. No chattering of relays. You know, when CB happened in 1981, and I was working as a television and audio engineer, although I was licensed as a radio ham in '79, and I kind of ridiculed CB radios coming, which still had, in inverted commas, relay switching. 2021, we've still got relay switching. And you know what? I haven't had to change that many relays, though they do seem to cost a fortune when you need to get the right one exactly. Right, we'll go on the tune-up. I'll just find my clipboard from when I was doing Mark's. I don't know whether they got the Lafayette or whether they got the Polmo or whatever it is. I'll just pause the video. Polmar, that's it. Right, so let's go through some of this. So transmit, see if we can bring it up from 2.1 watts. Do about 3.4. Just go through the. That could be transmit. Can't prove that. I can't remember what we did. Anyway, 3.4 watts, that's a huge improvement. See if it's on frequency, camera 2. 2779099, it should be 125. See whether we can just trim that. Are we between trim tools here? (27791289) gives it a bit of a leeway for it to drop naturally with age. So that's on frequency. Let's look at deviation. Wallow 1.7. Let's bring that up. Wallow. Go a fraction more with that. Wallow. That's it. Now, does this go through to AM when we press band? If it does, then I will check the AM modulation. If it doesn't, we won't. Band. I have to get the instruction book. So it's this. Well, it's not changing. Oh well. Perhaps you have to. No. So what do you do? They are frustrating, these things. It's going to be coming to the time when we're going to be charging more to do sets with menus, because it takes up so much time. I can't guess them. You can select AM or FM by pressing the AFM module. When you're in German 80 channel, la di da di da. What about when you're in UK? Secondary function. So if it's a secondary function, sure you hold it. No. Yeah, it says hold for 2 seconds. Right, well, we're going to have to switch it off and reprogram it for... I'll do this AM lark, and then at least I've done it, haven't I? So we need to set it for E for that. So switch on with it. Okay. Set. Way. E. Then what do we do? Then press the 9 and SHT. I know what SHT stands for. So channel 20. Done it. So now we're going to I need to reset the modulation meter. Wallow, which I've now done, and we're now in AM. So there we go. Wallow. That is correct. It's about 90, 85%. Let's bring that little thing back. So if we want to bring it up slightly, it's that one. Oh, and I'm not showing you on the other. It's that one. So I just turned it up a fraction. It was there, it's now there. So that's AM mod. Out of interest, what watts does it do? 3.5. Okay. So I've gone to the trouble of doing that. One of these is going to be AM detector, so we may as well do that. don't expect for one moment he's going to use it in AM, because I wouldn't be doing. But right, so we need to put 27205 on the signal generator. There we go, 27205. AM. Right, we'll plug the instruments into the extension speaker. And one of these is the AM detector. I never thought I'd see one of these again, you know, when I did Marks. Turn the volume up a fraction. It's that one or that one. It's not that one. But that's an improvement. Right, we'll switch back to UK channels. Just wonder if that does do anything on receive. No, it must be transmit. Yeah, it is transmit. Ooh, this isn't half getting hot. Right. Switch off. Switch on. UK. Press the SHT button. Select channel 20. Press the channel button. Faff around till we find 20. Wait for it to time out. Reset the signal generator to 79125. Disable the squelch, which I now presume is this button when you hold it a long time. No, that's the off button. So, do you have to press it twice? Is that it? Yes. What a faff. Squelch is now off. So turn the auto squelch off too. Hey! Tell you what, it's very sensitive though. It's doing, to tell you, it's doing 0.24 microvolts for 12 decibel cyanide. I'll just touch up that detector by putting, yeah, that's the FM detector, that's the AM detector. Just run through these. No, there's no change there. So it's 0.23 for 12 decibel cyanide, 0.21 for 10 decibel cyanide, and for 20 it's it's 1 microvolt. So let's see if this squelch works. Let's switch auto squelch on and see where it comes in. Comes in at 1 microvolt. I don't need to adjust that. That's how they've set it. Go out of auto squelch. See how the strongest squelch is. So it's pressed the silly button twice. A 15's the maximum. So squelch needs to really come down. That's it. That's now 100 microvolts maximum, which is where it should be. So that now leaves us with the S meter, which is doing 1 bar, even though we've got S9 on the radio. So let's see whether we can improve that. That's the preset here. So it wants to be just the 3rd bar. 1, 2, 3. There we are. That now works. Isn't that thrilling? You get 3 whole bars on it. Well, it does at least do something. The transmit one isn't adjustable. It's just a glorified TX light, like a lot of sets are. So, we're done. I think that's covered everything. Yeah. Put it back together and cheer the customer up. I wonder if the internal speaker works. Yep, it does. Now I'm going to have to disappear off to town because I've got an appointment to have a tyre changed on the car at 1 o'clock, and we're only half an hour away from that, and I'm 8 miles away. And you might think you can do it in 10 minutes, but it depends what traffic's like. Can't even speak. So because all we need to do is to plug it in. I'm still plugged into the test instruments because the speaker's underneath, isn't it, on these? So it's not like you've just got the handset. So we'll need to turn the squelch down. Oh, that falls out, does it? Doesn't latch that well. So there we're on channel 20. We'll turn the squelch down so it's 2 quick presses, and then, oh, blow me. Well, you've got an opportunity there not to be one. That was a good bit, wasn't it? Somebody talking, but the trouble is you don't know how far away they are. What are we doing? That's channel what a faff. Here we go again. So I need to turn the squelch down.
I know, it does everything what you need, doesn't it? Well, and more. But as I say, I'm happy with what I've got at the minute. The antenna I'm getting out, I've just been giving £9 into Boston. Well, I'm in a good spot up here anyway.
Yeah, we've hit the squelch. So now I'll press scan. And scan again because it's found some noise. Oh, I can't be bothered to change the squelch. It's too much of a faff. I'll get out of scan. And now, I think we're in monitor mode, which we don't want to be. So now I want to be turning the squelch up a fraction again. Going to 19, so that means the channel button. Press it down to 19. Wait for it to time out. Well, Nana, Roger. Oh well, there's somebody there who doesn't want to do his foundation license because there's too many Wallies on there. Well, has it struck him that the Wallies are actually non-licensed? They're pirates. There's Wallies on CB, aren't there, who are operating illegally in between the channels. So, you know, there's Wallies wherever you go. And I'm sure aircraft have Wallies to deal with. So there we have it. That's the Lafayette Venus, which is now sorted out, and I'm sure the customer will be very chuffed. Thank you for watching.